Good day, everyone. It's Terilee Harrison here with another edition of Let's Talk Networking. As you know, I am passionate about helping coaches, consultants, and solopreneurs be able to network in the most dynamic and lucrative way. I'm here with one of my amazing virtual team members. Meet Sarah Hudson. Hi, Sarah. How are you today?
Great, Terilee. Nice to be here.
Well, the truth is, everyone, we were just talking about lockdowns and stuff, but we're good, huh, Sarah?
We are. We're keeping upbeat. We're trying to see the positive in everything.
That is so true. That is so true. Let me introduce you all to Sarah. So she's coming to us from the greater Melbourne area. Now you know why we're talking about lockdowns. And she is a finance mentor and advocate for friendly. I bet they're friendly too. For financially confident women at Bounce Back and Realize Your Potential. She's also a mortgage broker and loan specialist with Liberty Network Services. You know, Sarah, it's so great to have you here and to be able to talk about money and finance, because it's while it's on our mind every day as a business owner, I don't know that we're dealing with it the way we need to. So I'm delighted to have you here. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you. I think finance is a dirty word. Everybody who thinks about money, you know, we have this in Australia. We kind of are really private about how much we earn, and it's really taboo to ask people how much they earn. And so it's really interesting working in the finance sector, because as a broker, that's the main question we need to know. So we're one of the lucky few people or few industries where can quite easily come out and say, hey, how much do you earn? And people don't get all protective about it because they know we need to know. But in a social setting, that's the last question you would ask somebody.
I think that's almost like a global thing. I don't think it's normally, although in our entrepreneurial circles, you will hear the people talk about, I earn six figures, I do this. That's more of a credibility thing, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Very interesting. Well, let's dive in a little bit, everybody. I asked Sarah to bring some top strategies when it comes to your money and finances. And number one, this is getting your head out of the sand. It's know your numbers. So please tell us more about this.
Sure. Well, one of the things that I teach women when we're doing our workshops or our one-on-one mentoring is that you need, in order to move forward with anything you do in life, you need to know how much you earn. You need to know your numbers, and you need to be able to track everything that you spend. So I really encourage everybody that I work with to, for a month, is to sit down either with a notebook and write down all their spending, or use one of the apps that's available on Apple Store or the Android store, where you can actually track your spending. And I think we kind of have in our head these ideas of how much things cost and how much we actually spend, and they're usually quite further than the actual truth. You forget about those extra pair of shoes you bought, or you forget about the subscriptions that you take out that you hardly ever use. And that's relevant in both personal and business sense, that we don't actually track things as accurately as we think we do. And we have all of these extra expenses that pop up that we just sort of find money for, but they're not included in our budget. So it's really important for at least a month. You know, sometimes it's a good idea to go further to quarterly, because a lot of us have quarterly expenses. But if we have a look through either our bank statements, do a tracking app, or to write everything down, we can actually get a really clear picture of where all our money goes.
I love this. So I haven't looked at it recently, but this is going to show you my handy dandy, very official tracking. Are you ready? This was like all my monthly subscriptions, right? And as I looked at what I could cancel, looked at what I added in, I just left it on the same one because it's very telling, and it's a journey, right? But yes, we can be shocked. We can be shocked at how much all the subscriptions add up to. Shocked at how that we've kept something we didn't need. taking a look at, I took a look at what could I choose to do annually that I know I'm going to keep and save a little money, so it's, yes, no, it's, and I challenge anyone who wants to be more official than this, Sarah, but no,
I love
but
it,
you know what,
Terilee, I love it.
but that being said, I pulled it from my desk, but that doesn't mean I've looked at it lately. So I think it's time for a repeat. What do you think?
And I think certainly since we've all been going through COVID all over the world, there's some things that have all crept into our daily lives that, not only are we watching Netflix, but we're doing Disney Plus and we're doing Stan and we're doing, something else and something else. And my children in lockdown talked me into paying for a couple of things like Jackbox, which is a game that we can all play on our phones. So we're all sitting there on our electronic devices playing games against each other, but at least we're all in the same room.
Yeah.
And the other thing they wanted was that one where you copy the dancing. I forget what it's called. But and they all cost about $30 a month, and they creep into your life. And I found that after the first month or so of lockdown that we weren't using them anymore, but my subscription kept on coming out of my bank account. So it's a really good wake-up call to review those sorts of things.
Yeah, thank you for that. Thank you so much for that. Dr. Sabrina Jesmon's joining us from Japan. So, Dr. Sabrina, we are just delighted to have you here today. So you mentioned the B word somewhere when you were talking there in point number 1. Oh, Lois Coffee's with us. Hi, Lois. You mentioned budgeting. Let's talk about that. Is a bad word for me, but it shouldn't be. It should be like the best word. So talk about budgeting and change my mind, Sarah.
Okay, so I did hear something the other day which I thought was a novel take on the word budget. So instead of calling it a budget, because everybody goes, budget, I hate the word budget. You're going to make me have to give up everything. It's not about giving up everything. It's about conscious spending. How do you like that word?
Okay, that is very that is the shift. Conscious spending.
So
love it. Okay.
So you're actually tracking. You've tracked all your spending. You've worked out where everything is going, where all your money is going, and so then you put it into a budget. And once you put it into your budget, you will get a really clear idea as to whether you are overspending or whether you're able to save. And if you overspend, then obviously you're running backwards with your finances, and you need to take a really good look at how you can cut that money, those expenses down. I take people through an exercise where we look at fixed expenses versus variable expenses, because quite a lot of people don't understand the difference. And obviously the fixed expenses are the things that happen every single month that you cannot change. Your mortgage, your rent, your insurances, that sort of thing. And your variable expenses are your discretionary expenses. That does include food, because you can change the amount you spend on food by buying cheaper brands, or just changing the way you buy in bulk or things like that. And having a budget gives you a really clear understanding about where your money goes to and where you can save it. So if you are trying to save for something like a home deposit, like a holiday, if you have it all set down in your budget, you are far more likely to keep to it.
So good. So it's not a bad word.
It's not a bad word. It should help you.
Yes, I'm going to be a conscious spender.
Yes,
okay. I find if I will just stay out of the mall, if I just stay away, I'm much better off. Once I go and do any window shopping, then I want to go back. So very good, very good. Eric Taylor's with us. Eric, welcome. Dr. Sabrina said regarding the budgeting, that was a great approach. So awesome. So our third tip. So now we know we're going to check out our numbers. We know we're going to be conscious spenders and work out our budget. So talk to us about goal setting when it comes to our finances.
Absolutely. Goal setting is equally as important to tracking your numbers and having a budget. Goal setting, it allows you to dream. It dares you to dream. It allows you to have a plan for your future, a plan for what it is you want to achieve. I'll just tell you a quick story about when I was 45. I was at a lunch with a group of my husband at the time, who's no longer my husband, but other story. We were at this lunch, and all of his friends were 5 years older than me, and they were all about to turn 50. And they were all saying, oh, what are you going to do for your 50th? And what are you going to do? And some of them wanted to go on a cruise, and some of them just wanted to have their friends over for a barbecue or so on. And it came to my turn, and I knew I had 5 years ahead. And I said, oh, I'm going to go to Machu Picchu and trek the Inca Trail. And they go, oh, well, that's great. Now, fast forward 5 years, none of them actually did any of the things they said they were going to do. But 5 years later, my two sisters and I were in Peru about to trek the Inca Trail. From that previous 5 years, we had saved $100 every month for 5 years and put that into a joint bank account. And there we were standing there about to do what was one of my life goals. So it's amazing to actually set those goals, break it down into little pieces. So if I had said, oh, I need $6,000 to go to Peru and hike the Inca Trail, I'd go, oh, I don't know whether I can afford that. But breaking it down over 60 months at $100 a month made the goal really easy and really achievable. And since we'd started that little commitment with my two sisters, 3 years later, my next sister turned 50, and we went to the Kimberleys in the top far northwest of Australia, and we did a 2-week camping trip out in the middle of the wilderness, which was amazing, by doing the same thing, continuing to put away $100 a month. Now, my baby sister just turned 50, and of course we're locked down in COVID, so we're actually pretending she turns 50 next year instead.
That's a plan. Oh my gosh, who's excited about this? And by the way, welcome, Jose Esmerio. Great to have you here. Good afternoon to you. Who loves that? There's just what I like about it is even just the family aspect, or maybe friends aspect. You plan something with people, and the fact you put it all in a joint account, that was one way to ensure something was going to happen, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Oh gosh.
And you can do that with any goal. You know, you might not want to travel. You know, everybody's got their own goals and their own dreams. But I meet people all the time that are afraid to set goals and afraid to dream because they don't think they can achieve those things. And I don't care whether it's buying a new pair of shoes, going out to dinner once every 3 months, or becoming debt-free, or having a holiday. Whatever that means to you is whatever it means to you, if you know what I mean. It's really important to have your own personal goals. And I love to encourage the women that I work with to actually sit down and spend a day dreaming about some of the things that they want to get out of their lives, and create a vision board so that they can look at that board and see some of the things. I find that if it's in front of you and staring at you, you're more likely to achieve it.
Mm-hmm. You know, Sarah, we're in conversations about the day that we will return from Singapore back to the States. And so I got a sample house, and I just asked my husband to print. I meant like a small grayscale one, and he came home with the big full color page, you know. But it's okay. It's a sample house of the city we would potentially like to be in. And then I put it one day on my screensaver on my computer. And I can't tell you how, when that house appeared amongst all my work icons, I was like just emotional about it. I was like, whoa, you know. And another thing I love to do is make my income goals my passwords. So like every time you're getting in all your stuff, you're writing down such and such in this year, and so and so K in this year. And it's powerful, man. It is powerful.
Yeah, manifestation.
So I love what you're speaking of. Love it. I have enjoyed this chat with you, and just diving in on the fact that none of this is bad words. This is all the way we should be. This is all, we should be conscious and intentional about all these things. And when we are, that's when all the good things, I think, can come to us. So tell us, if other people are resonating with you, how can they get a hold of you?
Sure. Well, if they'd like to go to my website, which is bounce-back.com.au. If you go to the resources tab, there is a free downloadable budget on there that will help you set a pathway to finding out whether you actually are overspending or underspending and help you reach some goals. But there's a whole lot of other information on there about the workshops and the courses that I'm running, and more resources will be added all the time. And there should be links on there to my Instagram page, where every day I post all these fantastic savings tips and how to find extra money in your day-to-day life. And yeah, love you to follow me.
Excellent, excellent. Well, Sarah, it's been a delight to chat with you today. I hope you all are coming off of lockdown sooner rather than later, and then we can all clean up some more of those monthly expenses that we won't need anymore because we'll be out and about, right?
And no more online shopping.
Oh yeah, yeah, online shopping and Windows. Yes, it's all bad. Yeah, I get you. So thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. For those who are watching, who are interested at all in getting to know me and talking about any aspect of networking, you can book a time at bookterilee.com. If you'd be interested in visiting one of our amazing virtual team chapters, please, you can go to vteamnetwork.com for the list of chapters. Sarah's in an amazing chapter that meets on Wednesdays at 12:30 Melbourne, Sydney time. If you're someone that's located more nationally in Australia, I know Sarah would love to invite you to be her guest. And we just wish that you all have an extraordinary day, and I'll see you here tomorrow on the next edition of Let's Talk Networking. Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you. Bye.